Everyone, today I'm going to show you how to build a very simple project management system inside Airtable. I did this previously in Notion, and now I'm just going to show how to do the simple base of it in Airtable with maybe some automations if needed. I'm going to do step by step, just out of my mind, so follow along. All right, so this is more or less what we are going to have. So, the normal kanban with to do in progress, blocked, and when it's done, and maybe we can also do some filters, but let's start from scratch and go into the data part. So inside Airtable, we have the data automations, interfaces, and forms, if we want to do some form. But for this, let's maybe do these three ones. So what we have here is some test and demo base that I have, but let's focus on these projects and this tasks tab. So I want to do something similar to what I did in Notion, which is I have one place for projects and one place for tasks. And so like a project can have multiple tasks inside of it. And we can maybe do some timeline also. Why not? We can do it also inside Airtable. So let's try to replicate this in Airtable for the people that want to create this inside Airtable and not inside Notion. So we start with projects. We start with project name, client. If you have a client's table and you want to have it, I wrote here a random fake client just for us to use. So you can click here and add a client. How you would do this? Let's do this from scratch. Is actually I'm going to leave the status, but let's take the client out. And how would you do this? Is you go here on the plus, you look for link to another record, and then we want the clients table. And then we don't want to allow to linking to multiple records because it's one project per client, and so we give this a name like clients, and it should be good. We can skip it because we don't want to pass the email name, first name, last name. Maybe we would want to put somewhere. Let's pass, I don't know, first name and email. Why not? Company name. Add the fields, and these would be, if you select one client, these will be automatically populated based on the client you chose. I'm not going to select any client for now. Let's move into the next one. Next one is the status. So I already did these ones here. So to do in progress, blocked, and then to be similar to my Notion. But you can give whatever names you want. If you don't want to have blocks, no need. And then I will replicate the same for tasks. So this is the status one. And then if we go see here the Notion, I also want to have who is the owner, and then priority, and then dates. And so for owner and priority, inside Airtable, you can do this, where is it, user. So you select the user that you want to have, but you have to have users in Airtable, and not a lot of people do it because it's not highly scalable. But what you can do instead of this is not have it and just pass the priority one. So actually, not this one. Let's choose another. Where is it? Single select, and let's give the name priority. And then we just give, let's say, low, normal, high, and critical. And you can switch colors here. So if you want lower priority to be in gray, and then normal to be blue is good, high in yellow, and critical in red, so maybe this red even, you just choose them here, create fields, and you'll have the priority good to go. And then finally we want to add the dates. So we go here, we select dates, and then we want to do what's the due dates, start dates, and actual end dates. So for all of that, you just do date formats and you call them due date, and then you can duplicate this one and call it start date, and then same thing for the actual end date. So we can do this like this, for example. And then we want to do a formula maybe. So we go here, not here, but we look for formula, and we're going to call this delay. So I also have one here to know the delay. So it's the difference between the due date and the actual completed date. And so for the delay, what we want to do is to pass due date minus completed, no, I put actual end dates, and this should give us, if we put here a date and we put the due as the 6, it's not going to do anything because it's it's not passing, it's because it's dates, right? And I have to pass this as dates. It's different than in Notion. Wait, let me see. Let's try this one actually. Let's say difference start, no, between due dates and between actual end date. Let's see if this gives us something. If not, I can always check and then I will let you know. But let's see. All right, exactly. I have to put daytime difference. Yeah, forget it. I want the difference in days. That's the thing. For these two, see, Notion has this thing. Okay, perfect. Notion has this, sorry, Airtable has this thing where it's very good because if you just type the formula in AI, just prompt an LLM to give you the formula, 8 out of 10 times it will give you the formula that you're looking for. So perfect. This is good. I'm not going to put anything for now. You can also say that you don't want to have this NaN when it's empty, but let's leave it like this for simplicity reasons. Also, I don't want to be thinking about what's the formula to remove them. Now, once this is done, I need to do exactly the same thing for tasks. We can do it super quick. It's super easy. You just need to have everything the same, except we don't want client, we want project. So same as we did for clients, we link another record and select projects. And we don't want to link to multiple ones because one task is just inside one project, and let's call it project. And then we can no need to have any project name or clients, none of this is needed. We just add it here, and then we add also here, we want to know the status, priority, and date. So the status, I already have everything like the other one. Now I want to add priority, so it's this way, priority. I'm not going to change colors, I'm just going to put low, normal, high, and critical. For now, just you already know how this would work. And then I'm not going to put dates because it's just copy pasting exactly what is here. You already know what you need to do. Now, one important thing to know is if you want to not use this as a table, what you need to do is create an interface. And an interface is how you're going to see this. So how you do this is if you don't have one page already, you have to go here and create a new page or a new interface. You add either a page or an interface, and what you do is inside the interface you can add pages. So if you want to have an interface for if I add one here just for you to see, let me give this name. Let me show you how it looks. And then this is a page that's going to be inside. Let's do an overview page. And here you'll have one interface here with pages inside and another interface here with pages inside. And so you can have a bunch of them depending on what you want to do. But in our case, let's delete this one and just keep these projects and tasks. Pages is what we want. So inside of it, we can edit everything. So we can go here and say that we only want the names to appear. So let's create some fake data for you to see. Under projects, let's call this project 1, project 2, and project 3. And let's give it a client to this one and this one. And let's put this one in to do, this one blocks, this one in progress. And also what I want to do is, and you should also, on the status label, you have to, or it's better to put the default option as to do. So every single time you create a new project, it gets immediately created as to do. And you can also do the same for priority. For example, you can say that you want all new tasks to have normal priority, and then you can adapt. You can do the same for tasks. Then once we go to interface, we can see here now, we can finally see how it looks. So the to-do in progress blocks, all the projects are here. And now we can start editing a bit. So let's say we don't want to, I'm going to go over that in a bit. We don't want to see only the title of the project or the name, but we want to pass maybe when is the due date. So right now I don't have one, but I will add for you to see in a bit. And let's say the priority also. And so what we would do is if we actually have a due date, let's add for all of them, and we have priority also. Let's put this as high, this one as low. what we can do is on the interface, we will see that we can check all the data that we put here on the fields that are being viewed. Now, here you can filter. So, for example, let's say on this specific page, you don't want to see. Why is it is showing me like this? All right, you don't want to see the ones that are done. For example, let's say these are only in progress. So you add a condition where the status is not done. And so nothing will change because we don't have a done one here, but these will only show the projects that are either to do, in progress, or blocked. And of course, you can add whatever condition you want depending on what you want to show. There's a bunch of other options you can do here. For example, you can say that you don't want these filter and sorting options to appear there. So if you take everything, search, group, anything, it will not appear, and any user that goes into this base will not be able to filter or sort in any way and change these for their own view. So it's just a way that you can have to have everything well organized if you wish so. Then what you can do is, once you try to click, you're going to see that we see this message saying if you want to allow users to open the record details. And what this will do is if they click, it will open all the details for this specific project. You can click. If not, you don't. If so, you click allow, and then you can see that once you click on it, you can see all the details of the project. But you can choose what to show and what not to show. So let's say you don't want to show who is the client, so you can just go here, click on this and click remove, or just click on the backspace and you will take it immediately. And let's say you don't want any of these, you just want the first name, and you want you don't even want the delay here. Let's say you want the due date, priority, and then all of this. You can edit this name. So if you edit here, you will not edit on the columns inside the data. This is just for visualization's purpose. So you can just say client's first name, and this will not change inside the data. And then you can organize this also. So let's say you want to start with client first name, and then you want to have the priority here also, but then on the due dates and start date, you want them to be together. So like side by side. So you can have them like this, as you can see. You can even do 3 in one single row. So you can play around with this. And this is a group. You can add multiple groups. So if you click here, like if you go down a bit, you'll see add group. And you can add a new group where you put maybe some of this information. Maybe you want just client information here, and then you want to drag all the other information that is related to the project to a different group. Well, you can do so. You just grab things or delete them from there and add them here on this plus icon. You can just add whatever you want. You can also take the names out of the group. So if you don't want to see the name here, you can just take show group title, just like we have it here. And you can also do some background color to distinguish between groups, for example. So let's say you want to highlight let's take this out, this one out also, and you want to highlight just client information. So you would have, if you select well the whole group, you can have a little color and say client name. And I know we said that we're not going to show, but let's say we want to also the email. And you'd have these like this, for example. You can just play around with this, do whatever you want. You can choose to not allow people to comment, so that this is just a pure view of the project at hand. And you can also say that if you want this to be editable or not. In projects one, maybe you wouldn't want, but in a tasks one, maybe you'd want people to be able to edit them. And what you would do is here you click on editable. You have to confirm that people will be able to edit, and then you can see that all the fields now appear as editable. These ones don't appear because these are coming from that, the client that we added. So if I show you here, not this one, sorry, if I show you the client, this is, you can edit this, but what you cannot edit is these ones inside, because these ones are based from this one. Let me take it out, and let's take all of these. Now I took the clients actually out. All right. And let me take out these out and these out. Now, if you just want some of them editable and others not, you can also do that. You just select on this one, for example, view only, and you can see that this is now view only, but the other ones you can still edit. And you can do this, for every single part of the interface. You can also add some numbers and charts depending on calculations that you have on the table itself, but maybe for the project doesn't make much sense. And this is how you can do this, how you do this. You can also add buttons on the interface. Maybe for this doesn't make much sense. If you want to add some automations where you have a button to I don't know, send a message or a notification to someone from your team, you can add them here. So on buttons, you click add button and you will appear here. You can also add buttons inside groups. So if you go to inside the group, you can add a button, as you can see here. And then the buttons themselves, you can trigger them or configure them to trigger wherever you want. So in the action, you choose, if you want to update the record, delete it, go to somewhere else, or run an automation, or just, yeah, you choose whatever you want. And this is the whole basis of starting a project management system inside Airtable. The base level is just doing this to do in progress blocked done views, which is a Kanban view. And then also, if you want to have that timeline view similar to the one I have in Notion, what you can do is go to pages, and actually you can also add them here, but okay, let's add a page where we see a timeline view, and we select that we want to see the projects, for example. The start date field is start date, the end date, let's say it's the actual end date, or it can be the due date if you prefer. Let's put the actual end date, and then you would be able to see if we change here or if we add actual end dates to the projects. You can see, for example, this is a 29, let's put 31. You can see here on the interface that we have projects. Let's preview. We have the projects here. Now, they are not showing with the end dates. Let's see all the thing. All right. They're not showing with the start date. They're only showing the end date. So what we can do to debug this is go here. Start date field is start date. Do we have it? And, well, to be honest, I haven't messed around with the timeline, but it should be okay. I don't have a start date, of course. That's the reason. Let's put them all in the past, and now we should be able to see. Oh, all right. Now we can see the full timeline of when it started and when it ended. So that's how you can do a very quick timeline view, also similar to the one in Notion. And again, you can always edit like we edit the other views or the other pages. You can edit this page to have everything that you want. Yeah, that's how you do the view part or the timeline view part. What you want to do at the end, once everything is set up exactly as you want to just click on publish and select that you want to publish this specific interface. So it would mean this interface here that has these changes for these pages. You publish it, and then you'll be able to see it perfectly, just like this preview, like this. And if you want to see the full view, just take this out, and you have the full view. And then if you want to move them around, you have to select, all right, let's take this out. If you want to move them around, you have to edit the records like this. And then now, okay, good. Now, if we add preview, we should be able to move things around. And so this is how you build the normal project management system, or a base project management system inside Airtable. I hope this was helpful, and let me know if you want to see maybe a more advanced version of Airtable for project management. As I said, I was using Notion and then revamped my Notion one. I planned to do it in Airtable, but then didn't want to do both at the same time. But I've done for clients in Airtable. So if you want me to go to and do a video of a full broken down big project management system in Airtable or any other system inside Airtable, just comment below and I will do any video that you want. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe and like, because I'm doing one video every day for this month of January around how to improve and optimize business operations using AI, automation, and data. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.